Wrestling is becoming one of the fastest growing sports for young ladies in high school and college. In this episode of the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, we have Kayleigh "The Bug" Savage, the number 2 ranked wrestler in all of the state of Mississippi, varsity team captain, state champion, most of all, lifelong wrestling fan. Awesome conversation. Can't wait for you to hear it. But before we get to any of that, check out liquidiv.com. That's right, folks. They are our sponsor for this episode of Duke Loves Wrestling. And in fact, if you head over to liquidiv.com right now, you're going to save 20% on your entire order by using the promo code Duke Loves Wrestling. No spaces, just Duke Loves Wrestling. Liquid IV are those hydration powders that you pour right into your bottle of water, shake that sucker up, and enjoy it. Why? Well, it's packed with all of your essential B vitamins and minerals. And I'm telling you right now, as somebody who has to be conscious of his hydration, Liquid IV gets the job done for me, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So the next time you're going to your wrestling events, whether it be high school or college wrestling events, pro wrestling events, hell, even the Savannah Bananas, one of their awesome baseball events there, it is smart to carry Liquid IV with you. Stay hydrated. I'm telling you right now, folks, it's the way to go. LiquidIV.com. Use the promo code Duke Loves Wrestling. Save 20% off your entire order. Most of all, shop better hydration today. That's right. And now, let's get on with the show.
Locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Without further ado, welcome to the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, the number 2 ranked wrestler in all the state of Mississippi, captain of the varsity team, state champion, Kayleigh "The Bug" Savage. How are you there, Kayleigh?
I'm really good. How are you?
Well, I'm fantastic. And listen, right off the bat, I got to ask you this question here because this is really interesting to me. Your nickname is The Bug. Where did that come from? Why is everyone calling you The Bug?
Well, I'm not really sure because there's a lot of stories. They say it's because of my eyes. Because, I have big eyes. So that's the story I hear the most.
See that, folks? We just cracked the code right there. Kayleigh "The Bug" Savage. The reason why they call her The Bug is because she has big eyes, which also contributes to her ability to see everything before it happens in a wrestling ring. And this is why she's the captain of the varsity team. This is why she's a state champion. This is why Kayleigh "The Bug" Savage is ranked number 2 in the state of Mississippi. How about that?
Definitely.
You know, you're one of the pioneers, so to speak, of this wave of interest and growth in women's wrestling, girls wrestling, both on the high school and you're about to be going into college, wrestling on that level as well. Everyone's taking notice and it's pretty cool. So how does it feel? Because I know in the state of Mississippi, girls wrestling doesn't have much of a history before you and your current generation of peers have kind of built that there. Talk to me about that. How does it feel to be part of this new wave and again, being a pioneer?
Well, it feels really great because I know myself that I'm making a difference and I'm making a change in what wrestling has in store for girls in our state. Because whenever I first started, I was the only girl on my team and there was not even 6 girls in the state wrestling. And to see how many girls we have now is just so amazing to me.
Why do you think it's taken so long for women's wrestling, girls wrestling, especially on the high school level, to take off like it has over the past couple of years here?
I feel like some girls, they're just too afraid to be out there. which I was a little nervous at first because I was not the best wrestler when I started, and so I hated having to wrestle matches. But I just got more confident and I got the support I needed, and I feel like if more girls had the support they deserve, that they would join.
That's an interesting point there. In the beginning, you were a little nervous about wrestling. And like you said, it didn't start off perfectly. You really had to work at it, build yourself up to get to the point now where legitimately you're one of the top wrestlers in the entire nation. Uh, how is the next generation? How are the younger girls responding to seeing you, somebody who may not have played a lot of sports beforehand, but then you got into wrestling, and now look at you. You're legitimately a star and somebody who is a state team champion, and you're captain on your team and making waves, going off to college. You're going to continue to build this legacy here. How is the younger generation responding to that?
A lot of the younger girls on my team, they always say that they look up to me and like they do everything that I do, like they want to be like me.
That's a lot of responsibility because, again, you are the varsity team captain, a champion. You're somebody who's setting the tone and really laying the groundwork for others to follow. And they're responding that way, as you just stated. How does that feel for you?
I really appreciate it because I've never like really had this happen to me before. And not only does it make me feel important, but I know like I'm important to them and that they look to me for whenever they have problems.
That's really, really cool. And certainly you are the perfect person for that role because you take it seriously and you're out there doing the right thing, which is awesome. More importantly, you've been able to show that you got to start somewhere. But if you stay working hard at it, you can excel. And that is such a great example, not only for the young ladies who are interested in going into wrestling, but for everybody in general. I mean, that's really some great life lessons there. No wonder you are the varsity team captain. It's awesome. Now, you're going to be continuing your wrestling career in college, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, that's awesome. It's awesome that you're continuing this legacy, taking it from high school to college, going to continue to wrestle, continue to inspire folks, not only in our country, but all over the world. And that's really, really cool to see. For all of you Kayleigh the Bug Savage fans out there, a.k.a. the Bug Club, listen up here. Kayleigh, what college are you going to so folks can continue to follow your journey?
I'm going to be going to Huntingdon College. It's in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Montgomery, Alabama. That's not too far from home where you are in Mississippi.
Mm-mm. Only 3 hours away.
How does it feel to be writing this next chapter in the saga that is Kayleigh the Bug Savage? I mean, taking it from high school to college there. Are you nervous?
I know it's probably gonna be a rough start because I do have to learn a whole new style that I've never learned before. But I feel like once I get the hang of it, I'm gonna be out there and more people are going to know who I am.
I love that. I mean, you're humble, but at the same time, you're confident in your abilities because you actually have gone through the process of building it from the ground up. You know, that's poise right there. That's leadership, which is really, really cool to hear and to see demonstrated. Now, you're going to need that because, from what I understand, you're a big pro wrestling fan. In fact, you're a big WWE fan. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, so Kayleigh the Bug Savage one day very well could be main event in WrestleMania with all of the Bug Club chanting her name. You laugh now, but hey, stranger things in life have happened. I mean, seriously, what are your thoughts about potentially becoming a WWE superstar someday?
Well, it's always been my dream since I was really little because me and my dad, we would watch it literally every time it was on. And I would always be like, oh, that's going to be me one day. I'm going to be on that stage one day. And I feel like if I work hard every day and I don't slack off and I do what I need to do, that I will eventually get the potential to be there.
Well, you're hearing it right there first from the source, Kayleigh the Bug Savage. She has dreams, including being a WWE superstar. So all my friends out there at the WWE Performance Center and who are monitoring the NIL program, keep an eye on Kayleigh the Bug Savage. You do not want to forget that name. Most importantly, it's time to start making some plans because she's going to main event WrestleMania someday. That's right. Now, who are your favorite wrestlers?
I'm a really big fan of Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. I love her.
Look at that. Two Olympians, two Hall of Famers, two people that are excellent at their craft, both in competitive sports and also in pro wrestling. I love it. Great stuff there. I know that in addition to being this awesome wrestler, great person, great leader, and what have you, you also have another hobby that you're pretty passionate about. Talk to me about your writing.
Well, sometimes I just like to write about my feelings and like just like my deep thoughts, but like I also like to write poems and I written poems about my wrestling before.
She's a wrestler. She's a writer. Kayleigh the Bug Savage. She's a Kayleigh of all trades. Now, listen, I have the most important question I got to ask you right here. Okay, this is a big one. When you are in the off season and you're not trying to cut weight or anything like that, what is a Kayleigh the Bug Savage Mississippi approved meal that you really enjoy?
Well, I don't know if it's considered a Mississippi meal, but it's like one of my favorite things my mom makes. Lemon pepper chicken, and then she'll like get like the green beans and put it in garlic and garlic and honey, and it's really good. And then she'll make asparagus with it and mac and cheese because I love mac and cheese.
Oh boy, okay. Now we're really getting down to the good stuff here, Bug. Are we talking stovetop mac and cheese or are we talking baked macaroni and cheese?
Definitely baked.
All right, you passed the Duke Loves Wrestling food test because I'm going to tell you right now, Kayleigh the Bug Savage, even though you got big muscles, even though I know that you could stretch me, you could suplex me, it doesn't matter. If you would have said stovetop mac and cheese, I would have had to call Ronda Rousey and ask her to personally make you pay the price of a wrestling lifetime. So you passed the test. These are very important questions here. I'm telling you right now, Bug. We got to make sure that you're all right. Now, there's no wrong answer to this next question, but I am curious here. Are we talking when it comes to the lemon pepper wings? Are we talking dry rub or are we talking the wet rub? Because there is a difference. I like them both, but I am curious when it comes to what your mom makes.
I don't really know which one she uses, but I know I like the dry one.
All right, now there was no wrong answer to that question, but you definitely answered it the right way. So again, Kayleigh the Bug Savage knocking it out of the park. When she's not beating people up on the wrestling scene, when she's not writing, you can catch her chowing down on mac and cheese and lemon pepper wings. The dry lemon pepper wings, dry seasoning. Good stuff there. Kayleigh, you are a leader. You are a great ambassador, not only for your school, not only for the sport of wrestling, but just in general. It's always refreshing when I get an opportunity to speak to somebody who just, has their head on straight and is doing positive things in life and really is a beacon of hope for others. No two ways about it. So I respect you. I appreciate you. Big fan of yours and can't wait to see all of the great things that you'll continue to accomplish in life, whether it be in wrestling, whether it be in writing, whether it be in anything, no matter what. On behalf of the entire Duke Loves Wrestling crew, we call it the Wrestling Crew, our listeners out there, we are officially part of the Bug Club. And in fact, let's take it out with this. Do you have any last words for the Bug Club out there?
I just say have a good support system and have people that you know are going to have your back no matter what happens. Because if you don't have that, it's just harder.
Wise words from a wise young lady. Kayleigh the Bug Savage, thank you once again for joining Duke Loves Wrestling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you right now, brothers and sisters, that is by far in 8 years. We're coming up on the 8th-year anniversary here of Duke Loves Wrestling. Kayleigh the Bug Savage is a top 3 all-time favorite interview. That was just so awesome to talk to Kayleigh and hear about her journey up to this point, and knowing that there is so much more that this young lady's going to accomplish in life. Again, whether it's pro wrestling, college wrestling, which is what she's going to be going into. She just got accepted into nationals, actually. So on the high school level, she just got accepted into nationals again. She's going to be competing on that stage. So much more to accomplish there before this season is over. But just in life, man. In life, Kayleigh the Bug Savage is a somebody. And she's going to continue to be a somebody and continue to lead others in a responsible and exciting way. And because of that, I'm over the moon. I think she's a fantastic person. Shout out to her. Shout out to her wonderful parents, including my friend, Billy Savage. Great dude. Someone that I've been interacting with for a number of years here. Huge pro wrestling fan. And he and his lady, the whole family, the whole support system there, they really have rallied behind their children, especially Kayleigh. And this is why you continue to see such great things happening there. So, she emphasizes the point that a good support system is really what you need in order to achieve the things that she's achieving. And I agree, 100% agree. I'm someone that had benefited from a great support system myself, and I know what that means. Something as simple as your loved one showing up to your games when you're playing on a high school level. Now she's going to be playing on a college level. You know what I mean? Competing in wrestling and what have you. National level. It's just incredible. Incredible stuff there. But there's no rocket science behind that. Support your people. If you care, if you can, support them. And support has many different layers. There's many different ways to do so. But just showing up and giving a damn can mean the difference. The confidence that young lady has in herself without crossing over and being overconfident. I mean, she understands that she has to put the work in. Forward thinking about that. As long as I put the work in, dedicate myself, then I believe that I can achieve my goals. Huge. Huge. So, and again, I really believe that one day we'll see her at WrestleMania, which would be tremendous. Who knows? One day, before that, she may be like her wrestling heroes, Kurt Angle and Rhonda Rousey. She may compete in the Olympics. She may become a gold medalist. You never know. So definitely, folks, keep an eye out for Kayleigh the Bug Savage. In fact, I'm going to be sharing some information in the notes for this episode. I know that with nationals coming up, I'm learning a lot of things about this. It is on the family to, take care of the financial burden of getting the athlete and getting themselves out to the nationals to see the young person compete and what have you. So they did set up a GoFundMe. And me, Duke Loves Wrestling, I don't generally put out solicitations and things like that too often because, you want to trust, but you also want to verify. And there's a lot of things out there that unfortunately can't be verified. But I can tell you this, Kayleigh the Bug Savage and what she has going on, it's all legit. I know her dad, checked everything out, been following her career. It's legit. So I feel comfortable with posting the information out there if anyone wants to support and help out with them getting to nationals, because she has been officially accepted. I'll put out the information so you can, check that out further and figure out how you can support. Good stuff there, for sure. And I'm going to end it on that. This was such a special episode here. I don't want to cloud it with anything else. Just want to say that, hey, continue to support these young people out there, that generation that's coming up next, for sure. In fact, I'm going to keep the train going because there is it's a young man who's actually a freshman in high school. And his mom is a huge pro wrestling fan. She's a fan of Duke Loves Wrestling. I've known her for a number of years as well. Actually met them at an event, probably about 6 years ago at a WWE live event. So Now this young man, as a freshman, is going to be competing at nationals as well in wrestling. Just incredible. Incredible stuff there. I'm going to have him on the show sometime next week so you can hear from him as well. Encourage these kids. Why not? Why not? That's what this platform, just one of the many things that we can do here. Duke Loves Rasslin on Facebook, on Twitter, DukeLovesRasslin@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Certainly, if you have any suggestions out there, folks who can be guests on the show, by all means, let me know. I run the whole gamut. Pro wrestling from China all the way to Texas, right? Pro wrestlers from Hall of Famers, like Booker T and Ron Simmons, to, literally folks who have a dream of becoming a pro wrestler one day and who are making strides in wrestling in high school and moving on to college, like Kayleigh the Bug Savage. We legitimately cover the full spectrum. Okay, it's not always just about the nerdy wrestling thing. I like this wrestler. I don't like that one. I didn't like that match. No, we legitimately helping people and helping to share these wonderful stories. And I count on you, the listeners, to continue to share these stories with the world. And you do it. And I really, really appreciate that from all of you. Because as you know, again, with WrestleMania coming up, that also means the anniversary of this show. 8 years strong. Incredible. Incredible stuff. And it doesn't happen without fantastic guests like Kayleigh the Bug Savage. It doesn't happen without fantastic listeners like you. So I really, really appreciate it. And, this is a culture. Pro wrestling and the love of pro wrestling, the love of collegiate wrestling, Olympic wrestling, high school wrestling, it's a culture. So doing a show like Duke Loves Rasslin, we're doing it strictly for the culture. And to continue to commemorate that concept, I definitely want you folks to check out strictlyfortheculture.ca. This is a brand that has supported this show and is a part of this community. And we have some great folks out there who they have hoodies and t-shirts and hats, mugs, calendars, the whole 9 yards there, promoting this notion of being strictly for the culture. Respect, honor, building with like-minded folks, positivity, all the above, right? Supporting each other, regardless of what religion, what race, orientation, gender, it doesn't matter. It's all about love, respect, honor, knowledge. Do it strictly for the culture because that is our culture. You got that right. So once again, strictlyfortheculture.ca. Check that website out. Show those folks some love as well and continue just to be the great folks that you are. As always, like I love to say to end these episodes, be kind to yourselves and then be kind to others. Without further ado, take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.